Welcome back to Bloomington for the Big Ten Men's Soccer Tournament. It's semifinal Friday. I'm Dean Linke. Now let's meet the gentlemen calling today's game action. Ken Tomash and Richard Broad.
Thank you, Dean. Richard, an uncharacteristic year for IU. 8 losses for only the second time in school history, but they've won this event all 4 times they've hosted. Can they make it 5 for 5?
Absolutely they can. They have the talent, and most importantly, they've arrived at the lineup they need. Mike Freitag has experimented throughout the year, but he's found a group that can be successful.
And leading that group is the big man up front, Will Bruin, named first team all-conference last night, and he is going to be a man to watch today.
Absolutely. Opponents fear Will Bruin, and with just cause. Against Wisconsin, he scored a goal, set up another goal, but more importantly, he has help in the form of Daniel Kelly. He's played just about everywhere during his Indiana career, but he's up front combining very effectively now with Will Bruin.
And Cameron Jordan gets a surprise start in the midfield. As for the Buckeyes, they were the #1 seed, the regular season champions. Chris Henge, a tough man to watch today.
Absolutely. Henge has the speed to dominate defenses. He hasn't scored as many goals as they might have hoped, but he has the pace to get behind the Indiana defense.
So those are your Buckeyes, regular season champions, and John Bloom, there's your coach of the year in the Big Ten, so named last night, his 13th season. First time that the Buckeyes have been the #1 seed in this tournament. And his opposite number, Mike Freitag, and his 6th season as head man, but he's IU through and through, played here, was a longtime assistant. Let's go down to Chris Doran to look at the keys of the game. Chris?
Thanks very much. Well, the broadcast team decided that Ohio State will be successful if they get in front of this game this afternoon with Indiana. And to that end, it means actually scoring first. Ohio State does not want to be in a situation where they have to chase this game. They also want to make sure they control the midfield. That means having numbers there and stepping to the ball defensively as quickly as they can. Now for Indiana, a key to the game is to complement Will Bruin, and in the attacking third, Indiana's got to move quickly. They can't be settling for possession in the midfield and expect to score goals if they're not moving quickly into the final third. Finally, we agree that concentration on defense for Indiana is essential for the Hoosiers to be successful against Ohio State this afternoon.
Expound on that one a little bit, Richard.
Well, concentration, not just concentration physically, but concentration mentally. Indiana has talent, but they've been sometimes unsettled. They've lost focus in the back and given up soft goals, which have cost them dearly in critical matches. They must maintain their focus today.
There you see the Hoosiers in all white. There's Tommy Meyer, who's back in the lineup after missing the quarterfinal match because of a red card prior to that. And you see the Buckeyes, who will be in the scarlet and gray this afternoon. It's not often that Ohio State beats Indiana, and it had never happened that they had won here, but 2 weeks ago they came in here to Bill Armstrong Stadium and beat the Hoosiers, so they're very confident that they can do it.
But it's been happening more often in recent years. Jerry Yeagley established a great tradition here. They hardly ever lost to anybody in the Big Ten, Ohio State, anybody else. Mike Freitag's continued that tradition, but John Bloom has just done a great job establishing the same kind of pride in Ohio State. 2 years ago, they go to the national final. They now look like a perennial tournament team. They're challenging Indiana for leadership and hegemony in the Big Ten.
There you see Chris Henge, we talked about a little bit ago. Number 11 is Austin McEnana, a very talented freshman from Southern California. So those two are going to be a handful for those guys at the back. It's an experienced lot in the back four for Indiana. You see Ohio State in red, Indiana in white, and we're underway. The first semifinal. The winner gets a berth in Sunday's championship final, which we'll have for you at 2 o'clock Eastern time right here on the Big Ten Network. First touch goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Hoosiers deep in their own end. And again, they look immediately for Daniel Kelly. The Buckeyes trying to control the midfield, which is the key for them. Henge gets it wide. They'll look for his feet again. That one trails just a little too far. He does track it down in the corner. He's got Rich Balchin on him, and go the Buckeyes' way.
We talked about Chris Henge's pace. He gets in behind defenses. He's going to stretch that Indiana defense anytime they're playing on to him.
So actually, it was a foul called, so this free kick is going to be almost as good as a corner kick. It's almost from that far corner kick flag. And Andrew McGill is over the ball. Will they treat this just like a corner kicker?
Absolutely, they can do it the same way. I think these are even more dangerous from tighter in the flank box.
McGill sends it in. Headed by Joe Moore. Goes goes off Lee Hagedorn. It's still bouncing around near the top of the box. Teamster gets to it, heads it out. It'll be served back in and maybe too far, and it is over the goal.
I mentioned Dave Teamster getting in on that ball. He's a central defender. He's very good in the air, comes up on restarts. He got his first goal, I believe, of his career in the title-clinching win against Michigan a couple weeks ago.
It's a battle of two redshirt freshman goalkeepers today. Louis Softner only had to make one save in yesterday's win over Wisconsin. I would imagine he'll have to do more than that today. Ball out to midfield, headed back the Buckeyes' way. Hagedorn has it for Indiana, plays it up to Andy Adlard, who will go through traffic and switch it to the other side. There's Matt Wyatt. Dropping that one long, Eric Alexander trying to run onto it, but Teamster gets there first for Ohio State. It's a battle on the byline. The ball's still sitting there. It didn't go out. Buckeyes hold it in. Now we'll try to build out of the back. Cameron Jordan gets ahead on that one and sends it into the bench area.
What I liked about that sequence, they played the ball on through for Eric Alexander. Very aggressive, challenging the Ohio State defense. They need aggression not only from the front runners, but from those midfielders getting forward.
Tried to get that one to Henge, but Hoosiers stole it away. Cameron Jordan back on the back line. They'll go all the way back to Suffner. We're just underway in the first semifinal. Michigan State and Penn State will follow. We'll have that one for you live here. Ken Tomash, Richard Broad, Dean Linke, and Chris Doran, your host for today. Glad you're with us on a Friday afternoon. The Softner sends this one long over midfield. Kelly tried to get ahead on that one. Hagedorn finally did, looking for Bruin. He's drawing a crowd, and he gets fouled. It'll be a free kick, dead ball chance for the Hoosiers now. Good position.
That's what Will Bruin brings to the table. He's a powerful guy. Took 3 players to contain him. They commit a foul, and now we've got to restart early on. Look at the strength and power of Bruin and the non-quit style. He has the fiber that Mike Freitag loves in his Hoosiers.
Hoosiers have scored 4 of their 23 goals this year off set pieces.
Andy Adlard, very accurate server on these set pieces. May go for goal on this. Maybe Eric Alexander will go with the left foot.
5-man wall. Alexander runs off it. Adlard has a go. It's off the wall, and Henke will poke it free. And it will go out here on the near side. Tommy Meyer will throw it in for Indiana. Into Rich Balchin. They'll push it to Wyatt. Again, Wyatt will go long, and again, it's a little too far and over the head of Daniel Kelly. The Hoosiers will get the throw. So to the top of the box, Bruin trying to get in there. The shot, and the Hoosiers are up on the goal by Andy Adlard, 5 minutes in. I don't know what was better, the goal or the backflip for the celebration.
Backflip pretty impressive, but the goal's even more important for the Hoosiers. We talked about Kelly, we talked about Bruin, but they need to get the midfielders involved in the game, and Andy Adlard certainly did, exploding out of the midfield for this one. Terrific goal, great start for Indiana. Look at it again, and this is excellent work at Kelly, picking up the ball and laying that ball into Adlard, coming forward, and he's a lethal finisher. Great technique, driving the ball past Lampson in the near post. Indiana, early goal, getting on top in the first 5 minutes.
Did he get away with a handball on that one, Richard?
Couldn't tell that. I don't think so. I think he got away with a great finish on goal. Andy Adlard, just a key to their team, getting in the attack from the midfield.
And now it's the Buckeyes, who, as you said, they didn't want to be chasing this game, but they are chasing the first goal of this game now, just less than 5 minutes in, as Andy Adlard gets the goal. Let's take one more look at that.
We'll take a look at this again, and Adlard's coming forward. Oh, Ken, you got a good eye on it. It may have hit his hand. Nothing called, probably a side. You give Adlard a chance. Lethal finisher, driving it past Lampson. We'll get another chance to look at this again. Sneaking on a blindside run. No, it's right off his chest. Well taken by Andy Adlard to go in and put it in the back of the net.
He pulled his right arm back, and he was positioned behind our referee, Hilario Grajeda, and it all happened bang, bang. So our camera folks real easy, well done picking that one up. Indiana over the last 2 seasons, 21-2-1 when they score first, but When you score first in the first 5 minutes, that means you have 85 minutes left. There's a whole lot of soccer left, and these are the Big Ten champions they're playing today.
They are, and Ohio State has a lot of toughness, a lot of fight, but Indiana is just coming right at them. They're not letting any time go by. They're coming at Ohio State, keeping the pressure on.
Now it's Gold, will play it wide. Not long, they look for Hengy. Balchin has inside position on him. Hengy, to his credit, still battles for it, but it stays in. Now Balchin, he will venture forward. He's got good offensive skills. He'll toe poke that one. Way too far for Kelly. Doug Verhoff, defensive player of the year in the Big Ten, number 15 in the back line. Captains. Good down, and there's the elbow go down, and a bit of a wrestling hold.
If you're Mike Freitag, you have to love the way that Andy Adlard gets involved in the game, and the Hoosier fans, young and old, are really happy to see Adlard engaged. Eric Alexander winning the ball, doing some good defensive work, and Matt Gold, who's a tough, tenacious defender, has to bring Adlard down. Another restart for Indiana.
The first one didn't lead to a goal, but they did score not long thereafter. Here is Adlard. He is the goal scorer. He'll serve this one into the box. Bruin is there, gets a head on it, it's over the end line.
Good effort by Will Bruin. At times, Bruin will get in a little bit early for these long crosses. That time he did. Maybe loops his run, comes at the goal, he gets a better chance to finish that. Again, fine service by Andy Adlard. This early goal changes the game significantly. Ohio State, one of the best defensive sides in the country, they like to get in front, and they've dropped behind, so they'll have to open up and maybe not be as compact in the defensive end.
Well, here are the Buckeyes as that one goes out of play, and they won't have the ball here for the next little bit as the Hoosiers will get the throw in. Matt Wyatt, freshman, throws that one in. Slip right by Bruin. Kelly's off to the races. He's got Teamster on his shoulder. Kelly stops and starts, serves it across Hagedorn, dummies, shot, just missed by Bruin. That was set up nicely though. Well done, teamwork.
Great running by Daniel Kelly, and you can see how he's creating opportunities, not just for Bruin, but for Lee Hagedorn, who made the run, opening up the space for Will Bruin, and Will frustrated that he couldn't get that on target. This is Kelly doing all the running down the left side, getting in a great left-footed ball here, getting by Dave Teamstra. Hagedorn makes the run through. Bruin has the chance, and it was deflected wide by Lampson.
Lampson, who is co-freshman player of the year, announced last night, did get a piece of that one, so nice save by him. But off the corner, Ohio State has it back, and now they're on the run. Looking for Hengy, who's out in front. Indiana does a good job getting white shirts back, and that ball put out of play.
And good job by Eric Alexander. He's a very clever player with the ball, sometimes not as diligent defensively as Mike Freitag would like, doing a good job starting this game defensively.
Sent to the top of the box. Balchin heads it out for Indiana. There's Bruin, who's way back. Buckeyes get it back, though. Joe Moore. Plays that one into space, and no one there. Gill expecting that ball in a little different place.
Ohio State has to get settled in a well-organized team. They can't afford to give up another one, but if they get settled in, they've got a lot of time, as you said, Ken, to get that equalizer and get back in the match.
There's a steal by Ohio State. It'll be sent across to Hengy. Let's watch him work. Footwork, left foot shot blocked by Balchin. Hagedorn will race over here to try to keep it in play, and he can't do it.
Great work by Rich Balchin. He's played out wide, he's played in the midfield, he's played wide in the midfield, he's played outside back. Mike Freitag feels very secure about Rich Balchin being in the center. He has been a warrior for Indiana since he came here.
McGill with the throw. He's looking for Hengy, but Ofori Cody is right on his back. He turns on him, and it's cleared by Hagedorn.
It's the pressure that Hengy can put on. He's a big, strong, powerful player. He's going up against another good defender, Indiana and Ofori Sarkodie, and he forces the restart here.
Another deep throw in. Ball whipped into the 6. Bounces at the 18, headed down. Bolton had that one for a goal kick. Let's go down to Chris Doran, Chris.
Ken, thanks very much. Ofori Sarkodie is one of the many versatile pieces of this Indiana puzzle Mike Freitag has dealt with all season. For the last couple of games, we've watched Sarkodie as a central defender in a four-back system. This afternoon, he moves to the outside. And for the most part, Mike Freitag's so pleased with his senior defender. Sarkodie, he says, finally has it right. His head screwed on right, and he's just playing his best soccer at this point in the season.
And he gave the invocation last night at the awards banquet. Did a great job there.
Very mature, responsible young man. He's hoping to be a doctor someday.
Now the Hoosiers midfielder is Wyatt. Is that up to Kelly? Alexander has it now. Slots it through to Bruin. Bruin will chip it forward. Kelly runs on it. It's going to be a collision and a loose ball. It's going to go just wide of the goal. Hagedorn fights off a defender, and it'll be put out here on the near side.
Daniel Kelly may be seriously hurt. He is down, and he's not really moving. Again, Lamson came out. This is great work by Will Bruin, setting up Kelly for the run through. Lamson comes out, hands in near post, excellent save, and Kelly goes down. Let's hope he's all right.
A little stained, but checking that right hamstring, it looks like.
Bruin setting up Kelly, and a good job by Lamson. He has to come out to deny him because they can't afford to go down 2 goals in the first 15 minutes.
And Kelly's up, gets a hand. Looks like Lamson may have gotten him with a stud.
Take a look at it again. Kelly comes in, and yes, I think it's his hands, maybe his feet coming. That's good goalkeeping technique by Matt Lamson. He's a great story. Had cancer a couple of years ago, recovering, battled back from it, was at Northern Illinois, transferred into Ohio State, won the job in the goal, and just had an outstanding year. One of the co-freshmen of the year in the Big Ten.
Started the year splitting time with Ryan Dalton, and then won the job outright. And he said he's also second team all Big Ten goal. And this is a conference with a lot of good keepers. Now here come the Buckeyes. McGill, the back heel, looking for Henge. Will keep it in on the near side touchline. Battles with Hagedorn. Tries to push it. He tried to push that one around Adlard. Adlard would have none of it. Long traffic here on the near side. 50-50 ball drops untouched. Varziha now with an early touch. He'll play that one forward nicely into space for McGill. He overran it just a touch. Henge now, edge of the area. Going 1v1, broken up by Tommy Meyer nicely. That will be headed up.
Tommy Meyer determined to make up for the 2 yellow cards, which resulted in a red. Last game of the season, he had to sit out the game yesterday against Wisconsin, back in the center of the defense. Son of another former Hoosier, Keith Meyer. He's just gotten better and better since he arrived here a year ago.
Now Bruin will play that one wide to Wyatt. Wyatt will launch one here to the near side. Hagedorn sends it back in. Varziha touches it on. Cameron Jordan played it out. These two teams were picked to finish first and fourth in the conference in the preseason coaches poll, but it was reversed. It was the Hoosiers who were picked to finish first. Instead, they finished fourth. The Buckeyes won their first outright league title in the regular season. Now Henge plays it wide. There's McAnena. Almost tripped up. Stays on his feet, plays it wide. Now they'll serve it in from the side, looking for Henge. Poked in, and we're tied! The Buckeyes have answered. It's Andrew McGill with the goal.
When Ohio State made their run to the national finals 2 years ago, it was Andrew McGill who was a spark, and this is a great effort. Good work by Sam Scales to drive that ball in. Henge makes the run, and McGill gets inside Sarkodie, puts in the back of the net, and we're even. Ohio State's not had much of the game, but Sammy Scales, very good serve. Chris Henge running near post created the opening for McGill to get in and finish in mid-goal and bring the game to 1-1.
There were only 4 goals scored in the 3 games yesterday. We've got 2 in the first 15 minutes of the first semifinal.
And much to my surprise, these teams are very good defensively. Ohio State all season long good defensively. Indiana seemed to have found their defense. They gave Ohio State the opportunity, and Andrew McGill took advantage.
It's the Andys who are handy today. Andy Adlard and Andrew McGill, your goal scorers in the first 15 minutes of the first semifinal. The winner gets the winner of Penn State, Michigan State, which we'll have for you later this afternoon.
We talked about Chris Henge at the start of the show, and he hasn't scored goals, but boy, he's a handful. You've got to honor him, got to respect him with his pace and power.
Now Lamson knocks that one long. Purdy has checked in for Indiana. It's number 9 in white. Varziha heads forward. Yeah, they pick up a little real estate, get the throw.
Conrad Varcia, son of the Columbus Crew coach, has had a brilliant year for John Bloom and the Buckeyes. He was a forward midfielder. They couldn't quite find the spot for him. He sits in that defensive midfield, provides a lot of good service to the attack.
Nice spin by McGill, trying to get to the byline. Hagedorn forces him out of play, goal kick. Let's go down to Chris for an update on Daniel Kelly.
Thanks very much, Ken. Indiana athletic trainer Joe Lukin told me that Daniel Kelly pulled a hamstring when he collided at that end of the field, and in doing so has been pulled out of the game. He's got a history of hamstring issues from last year. They're going to monitor his progress of sort of staying warm and working through it this half, and hopefully see him return in the second half.
Well, thanks, Chris. Well, Richard, we talked about how much Kelly's presence up front helps Will Bruin. Now it's Purdy up front for now. How does that change the dynamic?
Daniel Kelly's a very experienced player. He's played in a lot of positions. He's very savvy about the game. Alex Purdy's more of an energizer, guy they like to bring on late in the half to provide energy. They wouldn't want to bring him in quite as soon as this. They're going to need some more minutes than Alex Purdy's accustomed to.
Could also see Neil Wilmarth as an option up front, potentially.
I would love to see Neil Wilmarth. He is a guy who can give you 10, 15 minutes of just pure heart and battle.
Will that one stay in on the side? Nope. Hasn't go out on him. We'll throw in for the Buckeyes.
There's another player who will battle. Rich Balshin is playing in the middle of the park all the way forward out of his back position. Just been a steady, honest player since the day he arrived on the Bloomington campus.
Just under 29 minutes left in the first half. It's Indiana 1 and Ohio State 1. Hoosiers scored first early, less than 5 minutes in, through Andy Adlard, and Andrew McGill answered for the Buckeyes. Here's Purdy poking it forward. Bruin trying to run on it, but Lamson gets there first for Ohio State.
This is the combination that I tried at the beginning of the year, Bruin working with Purdy. Hopefully they can sort of find an understanding that Bruin was starting to develop with Daniel Kelly.
That one. Sarkozy's all over him. Got a head on that one, but it's scooped up by Austin McAnena. McAnena left foot one across, looking for Henge's head, and Wyatt gets a boot on it to the side. And they go out off of the Buckeyes. No, but a foul call. They're going to go back the other way.
We talked about combinations. Ohio State, on the other hand, has moved Austin McAnena from a wide midfield position middle of the year to team with Chris Henge, 2 freshmen up top. They're very, very good friends. They work very well together. They're just going to get better and better in the combination as they go on in their Ohio State careers.
McGill will take a free kick. We're on the far side touchline. Served in, far post, headed back into the mix. Drops, everyone calls for a handball. And Hilario Grajeda, our center referee today, agrees.
We look at this chance again. That ball is brought back in. Looking at it on the end, it's Joe Moore making a great effort to get it onto Varzia, but he does bring that ball down with his arm.
Sophomore being told to reposition that for his free kick. Got a pretty good vocal crowd here on a Friday afternoon. The Hoosier fans lining the near side touchline fence. Saw their team score early. Now we're in a 1-1 draw. Henge brings that one down. Kicked away from him by Balchin. Adlard has it on the far side. And Ohio State will clear it long. Now Meyer, he can serve long balls out of the back. Like that one. Off Bruin's head. Purdy is there in the box. Chested down by Lee Hagedorn. Hagedorn being forced to the corner, trying to step inside his man. Finally does. Hagedorn, edge of the box. Nice block there. Indy collects that one. Stripped of the ball by Ofori Sarkodie. Balchin now motors through traffic in the midfield. And touched on to Purdy. Gets that one into the box. Lampson is there, edge of the 6, battle for it, and Lampson comes up with it.
And the man that creates that, Rich Balchin, coming all the way out of the back. And he's playing as a central defender, and he's taken a role as a leader on this team. Again, nice ball by Purdy, flicked in there. Balchin coming forward, and they can't quite get on it. Eric Alexander battling for this ball as well.
Lee Hagedorn now with it wide in midfield. Pokes it into Alec Purdy. Buckeyes were there to strip it away, if only for a moment. Cameron Jordan got it back. He has it back now. Now he's got a foul called.
Cameron Jordan is the man who needs to win that ball back in the middle of the park, and give that young man a lot of credit. Starter in the beginning of the year. They didn't think he was quite covering enough ground, doing the job, and at times he hardly got even minutes at all. He's come back in the second half of the season, never complained, never argued about being out of not getting the opportunity.
Foul called in the box.
Again, let me go back on this. Cameron Jordan just staying in there, waiting till his time comes. And so many players just get upset. They get down. They start to argue and be difficult to handle. Cameron Jordan just kept quiet, kept working hard, and now he's back in his midfield spot for Indiana.
Lampson with a long goal kick. Backed away by Tommy Meyer, collected by Lee Hagedorn. Drop it long and force Will Blue into chase. It's okay, he's fine with that. We'll go out, and there will be a Hoosier throw. It looked like Will Blue
Why would I kick it right there?
That went his way.
Doug Fairhoff can't believe it, nor can I. That ball clearly went off Will Bruin.
Adlard pokes it forward. Hagedorn will again try to get inside Joe Moore. A collision there. McGill keeps it in. Surveys the situation, sends it toward McEnana, but past him. Now it's Eric Alexander. Loses it to McEnana. Varziha. Here's Purdy. Will he win that? Yes, Eric Alexander. Four red shirts around him. Finds Bruin, tried to flick it in through. Purdy goes down top of the box. And Varziha calmly collects. Held in at midfield by Matt Wyatt of Indiana. Here's Purdy now. One against the world. Into Adler. Eric Alexander. Deft footwork, but it's cleared by the Buckeyes and a foul call. And in fact, Larry Grajeda is going to book Eric Alexander, it appears.
Well, that's unusual. Eric Alexander rarely gets cards of any sort, and they try to get him to be more aggressive, and I like to see him getting touches. Remember, first 10 minutes he had a lot of the ball. Indiana gets a goal. He's kind of been quiet out there on the wing since then. Now he's getting the ball, and Indiana's starting to have more of the attack. He is a key to Indiana's effectiveness. Very good technically. Look at it again. Alexander getting involved. They have to double him. He tries to overuse that, commits a foul, nothing malicious, but a yellow card probably warranted in that case.
That was Purdy going after it. They'll go out for a throw-in for the Buckeyes.
You mentioned, Ken, what Purdy provides. He provides activity, and he's running and covering a lot of ground since Mike Freitag brought him on.
McGill again wide. Plays it in. He's looking for the give and go. There it is. McGill, though, with Sarkodie on him. Cameron Jordan comes in to help out. McGill in the corner. Nice work by Cameron Jordan. I still have it, though. As far as Seahawk. Plays it towards the top of the box, and it's cleared to the side by Indiana. A foul called on Ohio State.
Andy Aguard dropping back, helping on defense. Cameron Jordan, that's his job to support. Sarkody's good one-on-one defender. Getting Jordan in to help him enhances the defense all the more.
Long ball by Meyer. Way too long. And Lampson has it. Now Purdy will put a little token pressure on it, force Lampson to send it long. Tommy Meyer draws a beat on it, heads it forward, but Austin McAnena has it for Ohio State. To Gold. They go wide. Just over 21 minutes to go, first half. It's a 1-1 game. Again cleared away from the top of the box. Purdy gets crunched there. Jordan clean that one up. Forward looking for Bruin.
You already said that Purdy got crunched. Well, if you hold the ball around Dave Teamster very long, you're going to get crunched. He is a tough, rugged defender. Great tradition of central defenders here at Ohio State. Eric Bruner was an outstanding player for them, now starting for Columbus Crew. He was the leader of that defense. Doug Verhoff has assumed the mantle. And when Verhoff graduates, Teamster will become the leader of the Buckeye defense next year.
All right, we're going to take a timeout with an exciting first 25 minutes in the books. We'll be back with more of the Buckeyes and the Hoosiers tied at 1 in the first semifinal of the Big Ten Men's Soccer Tournament. Stay with us. More action after the break. Don't go away. You're watching Big Ten Men's Soccer live on the Big Ten Network.
We got a good one here in Bloomington. The Ohio State Buckeyes, the top seed, and the number 4 seed, Indiana, tied at 1 as we look here at the brackets. The Buckeyes and Indiana coming up after this one. It's Michigan State and Penn State. And, of course, the championship will be on Sunday. How about the first goal? Came in the 5th minute. Danny Kelly now up top with Will Bruin. This one goes off of Adler. No handball. And then he calmly slots it in. And how about the backflip to boot as the Indiana Hoosiers were pressing. They weren't done here. Here's Kelly again, who would later go off. Now watch Will Bruin hammer this. Matt Lampson gets down low for the big-time save. Then the Buckeye scale sends it in. Good dummy by Hendy. And then Andrew McGill gets on the board to tie it in the 14th minute. We're tied at 1. Let's go back now to Ken Tomash.
Thank you, Dean. That was only the 6th time all season that the Buckeyes had fallen behind in a game. They were 0-4-1. Well, they are 0-4-1 when their opponent scores first. That goal by McGill gave them a shot of life. All the play for here in our first semifinal. Under 20 minutes to go in the first half. Tied at 1 as Chris Henke chases this one into the corner, and Balcham will let it go out.
John Plume has built this Ohio State program around strong, well-organized, cohesive defenses. That's why they're very tough to beat when they get ahead. And it was important for them to get back in the game the way they did. Indiana was having a run of play. Real important they get that goal. Real important goal. Get back even early on.
Let's go down to Chris Doran to tell us what the Buckeye coaching staff has talked about during the timeout.
Certainly a unique opportunity for the coaches to visit with the players. Ohio State coach John Bloom and assistant coach Frank Speth go player to player, deliver an independent and unique message to each one of those players on the field. And the last group message is, let's win this ball better in the air throughout the rest of the game.
Chris, here's a full Sarkody now. So Hoosiers working around. Ohio State's defensive third. Head forward for Bruin. Trying to spin on that one, and it'll be clear.
Excellent point that Chris is making, because Ohio State is a dominating team in the air. Verhoff and Teamster, especially in the back, are very tough to beat in the air. Indiana's goal came through on the ground. They need to work the ball quickly on the floor to be effective against the Ohio State defense.
Second ball got loose on the field. Matt Wyatt will get a run up. He gets to go off onto the track. There's an opening there, so he can get a real good run up.
He can throw it a long way.
And he does, into the box. Bruin's head, the drop there. That's a dangerous ball. Anderson was in traffic, and he had to retreat. Banana knocks that one forward for the Buckeyes. Tommy Meyer drags it down. Sarkody. Varziha now. it to McEnana. Space in the right flank. Snuffed out by Wyatt. Buckeyes have it back. Gold. Over to Hengy. Force him to the touchline. Gold. He's the goal scorer. He'll go back to Barzija. Very good passer and will occasionally take long shots like that one.
He strikes the next minute ball. Found his home in the defensive midfield and had an outstanding season for Ohio State.
Sophomore has that one drop over the head of Eric Alexander. Alexander will get ahead on that one. Purdy, who was a substitute for the injured Daniel Kelly. Hamstring issue. Started the game, but they let him out very early on. Don't know if we'll see him return. Now Wyatt. Here's Bruin. Turns off him. Comes out here to McGill. So Purdy's on him. Switch it to the far side, but too far for Sam Scales. Hoosiers will throw it in. Just under 17 minutes to play in the first half.
Like the way Indiana has come out after the break, putting pressure on Ohio State.
Gill looking for that one. Goes out. Off of it. Go to his bench again, this time by design to bring in Darren Yeagle. Let's go down to Dean.
All right, thank you so much, Ken. You know, coming up in game 2, we're going to talk a lot about Jason Yeisley overcoming 2 knee surgeries back on the field. Well, how about Darren Yeagle, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, also 2 major knee surgeries. They call him Smiley for his attitude. He's back out there again for Indiana.
It's number 12 in white. Here's Will Bruin, pokes that one to give it go to Tommy Meyer, who ventured well forward. Have to hustle back now, and he will. There's McGill muscled off the ball by Bruin. Foul called, free kick, Buckeyes.
Foul on Indiana.
Veerhoff will send this one almost to the top of the box, drops over the head of Hengy. McEnana heads it for him again. Meyer sends it high in the air. Sarkody wisely heads it out to the side.
Keys on defense, balls in the air, get him out high, long, and wide. Plenty high that time, Tommy Meyer, but he's got to get it long as well.
McEnana's pocket picked by Cameron Jordan. Joe Moore tried to step back in and win that one away. It goes out, throw in Hoosiers.
Thanks. Turn.
Here's Hagedorn now. Lifts that one forward, looking for Bruin. And Teamster on him. And Gold has it. He makes a lot of things happen in the center of the midfield for the Buckeyes. Scales plays back to Gold. Dalton Summers drops that one away. Here's McGill. Spins Sarkody around, and when they were both done spinning, Sarkody had the ball at his feet. Tom with the ball, goes up, throw in.
John Brown really feels confident in these 3 midfielders.
Sent across, nice ball, shot to go! And the Buckeyes lead the game! Yeah, salute Sam Scales for the tie-breaking goal with 14:12 to go.
One of those 3 midfielders, and I should have said 4, but they're 3 that have been a solid rock. Sam Scales being one of them. Look at that volley by Sam Scales. Technically one of the best in the country, and he takes it right out of the air. Indiana not closing quite quick enough on this. The ball's played in. Lee Hagedorn maybe staying back just a little bit, giving the opportunity for the service to come in, and Scales, you cannot give him any time and space. He's created a goal, he's scored a goal, and he's brought Ohio State back from a 1-0 deficit to a 2-1 lead.
So just down the road in Louisville, Kentucky, and those folks on the far side and cheered for that one. May have very well been family and friends. Sam Scales gets the goal, puts the Buckeyes on top. 14:12 to go. The scoreboard clock. Sent across again. Well, we may be seeing even more games. We've seen almost as many goals in the first half of this game as we saw all yesterday in 3 matches. From the Buckeyes again. Here is Scales. Inward to Gold. Varziha now. Hagedorn won that one away. Purdy, Bruin is racing forward, hoping to get a ball from Purdy. There it is, played nicely in front, but even more nicely was Doug Verhoff, clearing that one to the side. Held in by Purdy. He will serve it again. Got away. Sarkody has it, send it across. Again, they're looking for Bruin, but Verhoff is there. Adlard pokes it forward off the chest of Bruin. Adlard with Gold on him, trying to poke that one through to Yeagle. Lampson watches that one go wide of his goal.
Ken, you're looking as surprised as I am about this result. Two real tight to the vest, tough defensive teams, already giving up 3 goals, and we've still got 13 minutes to go in the first half.
They've been some nice goals, too. Nice finishes.
They have, and the midfield play has been really important. John Bloom has, I said there's 3 midfielders. I'm talking about Gold and Varzia and Scales. There's a 4th, Andrew McGill, who was playing up top. They moved him back in the midfield. This is one of the best midfields in the Big Ten, maybe one of the best in the country, and they have gotten the Buckeyes back into the game with their hard work. Varzia, the server of the ball, and Matt Gold, you mentioned before, Ken, he's just an engine. He's fit enough to probably play in the 2nd game today if he was traded to another team.
There's a clock issue, and the court's official Kennedy got the attention of Valerio Grajeda, the referee, so that we got it sorted now. The clock did not start after that goal straight away, but now I think we've got it sorted out. We've got 12:40 to go in the first half, and this game may have more goals in it. Out of the way. He's racing after, goes shoulder to shoulder with Darren Yeagle. Foul called by Grajeda there.
You players should know each other very well. They're both from Kentucky, I believe Louisville area. Scales going up against Yeagle, who gives a lot of attacking prowess down that left side for Indiana.
Free kick duffed forward, Yeagle has it. Purdy now. Back inside to Adlard. Cameron Jordan. Matt Wyatt now. 12 minutes to play first half. 2-1 Buckeye lead. Dynamics changed quite a bit. If the Buckeyes didn't have confidence from their win 2 weeks ago, they definitely have it now. As they take the shot, Purdy goes open over the boards, and he's back in.
A lot of energy Alec Purdy provides. That one almost too much energy. Needs to keep it under control. They can't afford to lose him as well with Daniel Kelly out.
Yeah. Switch to Seiko, would you? We are at Jerry Yeagley Field at Bill Armstrong Stadium, campus of Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. Chris Doran and Dean Linke with you, bringing you the first of 2 semifinals this afternoon. The winner of this match takes on the winner of our 2nd semifinal between Michigan State and Penn State in Sunday's championship final, which we'll have for you at 2 p.m. The winner of that gets the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. I would expect that we might see all 4 of those teams in the NCAA tournament anyway, wouldn't you, Richard?
I would, and I think we're obviously going to see Northwestern, which has had an outstanding season, came very close to winning the Big Ten championship. A couple tough losses at the end of the season. I expect easily there will be 5 Big Ten teams in the NCAA tournament.
Bruin there. Cleared high, but I don't know that it'll reach the touchline. McGill keeps it in. Plays it on the ground forward, looking for Gold rather, and then McGill sends it long, but it's out of play.
I really like the change that Frank Speth and John Bloom have made in their lineup with McGill going back in the midfield. He has experience. He's very good at running at players.
Here's Adlard. Meyer now. We'll see how the Hoosiers respond. They had their backs against the wall after a 3-game losing streak near the end of the year. Regrouped, won 3 of their last 4, including yesterday. And Now they've got a gut check with under 10 minutes to go in the first half of the first semifinal against Ohio State.
The way they must respond is get the ball on the ground and attack Ohio State. Ohio State is very, very good in the air and the back.
Lampson now. Sends a low liner, goes off Jordan. Balchin has it. Wyatt. Fans, don't forget, you can find more Big Ten soccer stats. One place only, BigTenNetwork.com. That is the ultimate destination for all your Big Ten soccer statistics. Guy throw in near midfield. Wyatt gets ahead on it for Indiana. It'll drop here to Purdy. Just over 9 minutes to go now. Wyatt with another strong throw. Goes over the head of Adlard. Bruin will flick it forward. Nice little cheeky back heel there. But right to Lampson.
Not quite the same level of understanding between Bruin and Purdy that exists between Bruin and Daniel Kelly. DK, as they call him, very savvy player. Has been a great compliment to Will Bruin up top. They have to hope that he's not too seriously injured and maybe he can get back on.
I think they'd consider going back to the 4-5-1 that they played for a little while with Bruin the only forward if they had to. Sent through Yeagle, top of the box, stops, turns, fires off a defender.
Shot by number 12, Darren Yeagle, deflected by Ohio State.
And Varziha will clear.
Ken, to deal with that, if there's anybody who can play up front as a single target, it's Will Bruin. He's so strong, but they like to get a player next to him. They got some other options they can use. Maybe Tim Wiley is a big, strong player. Neil Wilmarth is a real catalyst coming off the bench. But the guy they'd like to have is Daniel Kelly if he can go back.
Here you see Joe Moore. His 9th straight start into the starting lineup midway through the year. Senior, transfer from Oral Roberts. Now here come the Buckeyes. They've already got a 1-goal lead. Can they add to it before halftime? Varziha. He's looking for McGill. The ball spun away here and out of play. Throw in for the Hoosiers with just over 7 minutes left.
You mentioned Joe Moore, unsung hero, again, transferred in, hardly played at all his first couple of years. Now he's a starter at left back. They've got some big-time players, some stars at Ohio State, but any good team needs these complementary players like Joe Moore has been for Ohio State, Lee Hagedorn has been for Indiana.
Sent inward to Varziha. Will he have a go? Yes! And he rips it in the back of the net, and the Buckeyes are up 3-1. We talked about Varziha booming shots from long range. That was his second one of the first half, and it found the net.
Louis Softner doesn't expect this. This is amazing. Varziha is about 25, 30 yards out. He drives the ball, and it's missighted. Balshin challenges. The ball goes past Balshin, what we call shooting past players. Varziha doesn't wait. Balshin comes out to challenge, and I don't think Softner saw it. He just didn't believe maybe he's going to pull the trigger. Just didn't see it until too late.
Here's the thing, Richard. The way Jerry Yeagley Field is laid out, Softner is looking kind of into the sun here in the first half. The sun, which is, you know, it is now, what, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so that sun could be giving him some problems. You can see where the shadows are going. It can tell you where the light source is. And Softner could have, he may not have ever seen the ball at all.
It's a very discouraging goal nonetheless for a goalkeeper to allow. The defense is going to get frustrated. The keeper is not even diving for the ball. It goes in from 25, 30 yards. And now Indiana really has to regroup and show some leadership, show some guts, and Louis Softner cannot afford to give anything else away.
Veerhoff now takes this freebie. To the top of the 18, flipped inward. Oh, Wyatt tried to clear it. It's collected on the edge of the box by Ohio State. McAnena was calling for it. Won't get to it. Dalton Summers will play it here. And that one's dropped long and will go out of play. Let's go down to Chris Dorff. Chris?
I'll tell you, Conrad Varziha made that goal look so very easy. And earlier in this match, we saw him launch another shot from 30 yards out. The assistant coaching staff has got to be scouting the opponent before the game starts. And then they've got to let the goalkeepers know what to expect from certain players. That big midfielder for Ohio State's been taking shots like that all season long. And Louis Softner's got to be ready for that when the game starts.
Plus, he played Ohio State here 2 weeks ago. It was an afternoon game as well. So Cody. There, Meyer tried to hit it, and it went off McGill, and now it'll be a goal kick here with just over 5 minutes to go first half.
Chris makes an excellent point about the preparation, understanding. That's his strength, his ability to serve the ball and strike from long range. But let's be very candid. You've got to do it on the field. Louis Softner has to make an effort for that ball. You've got to make sure he can see it. And that's a really tough goal as a defender myself. I know how discouraging it was to be working hard and have the team score from long range. Let's see about the character of Indiana. This is a mountainous mountain to climb, huge mountain to climb for Indiana, getting back against a great defensive team like Ohio State with a goal lead now.
Free kick for the Buckeyes near midfield. Doug Vierhoff strikes it into the box. Softner grabs it just outside the 6. So that one he saw all right. Ruin held up there by Teamstra. And he headed back.
Teamstra got away with one that time. Definite hold, wasn't called.
Lamson sends that one way high into the blue sky. So Cody cleared, but he cleared to the middle. You don't want to see that from a defender trying to clear a ball out of the box. McGill, he's got one of Ohio State's 3 first half goals. He'll bounce that one into the 6 and very nearly disaster for the Hoosiers again.
Andrew McGill is so effective out wide. He almost found Eric Shrigley coming off the bench. Good service by McGill. Shrigley putting pressure on and only good defending at the last minute. Keeps Ohio State from getting their 4th goal of the half.
Shrigley's number 3 in red, redshirt freshman.
Very talented young man. They've been expecting big things out of Eric Shrigley. He got the game winner against Indiana when they played in the regular season.
Just over 3 minutes to go. So Cody tosses that one into Hagedorn. Easy ball picked off by the Buckeyes. Gold will play it forward. It goes off Sarkody's head and out for a deep throw in for the Buckeyes.
Talked about the keys to the game, one of them being the Ohio State midfield. They have taken control of this match. They're the reason why the Buckeyes are back in.
Nice service by Varziha, but it goes out. It'll be a corner kick for the Buckeyes with 2.5 minutes left in the first half.
Talk about Ohio State's defense. They have some pretty good midfield play, John Bloom, over the last few years.
Number 11, Austin McInerney
will take the corner kick from the far side flag. Freshman from Southern California sends it across. Softner lets it drop. He only got one paw on it. And his defense comes to his rescue for a moment. McGill has it now. Gets that one back after Hagedorn had stepped in and won it. Sends it wide. Adler, that ball stays in. And finally, Yeagle pushes it to the touchline. It'll be sent right back the other way. And it'll be a goal kick for Softner with just under 2 minutes to play.
That ball stayed in because of the tremendous work of Sam Scales. He's a great technical player, but he's got some bite and grit as well. He's just blossomed his junior year. He can play in the back. He can play wide in the midfield. If they had to sub Matt Gold or Conrad Varziha, Sam Scales could go in the middle as well.
What about that great tenacity? Sam Scales is
Hockey players are a little bit tough, aren't they?
Dead ball situation, and
1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
He does have the wind at his back. Pokes that one in, headed up and over the bar. He did drive it a long way.
Wind in his back, he's even more dangerous. He's looking this time for Doug Fearoff, the captain, coming in and getting inside with the far post, beating Hagedorn once again. And Indiana's showing some great degree of being discouraged in the back. They have to keep their heads up. 2-goal lead is huge, but it's not insurmountable.
Sophomore sends that one out to midfield. Bruin being held up there by Varziha. Time running out is Andrew McGill. Working on Ofori Sarkoti. It's been a battle we've watched all through the first half. Sarkoti wins that one. Play on, says Larry Grajeda. Ziha drops it forward. And Trickley's offside. And probably the very last bit of business in the first half. And it is. What a first half for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who came in as #1 seed, but fell behind by a goal. Now they're up 3-1, and here's Chris with John Bloom.
Thanks very much, Ken. Well, Coach Bloom, you're not chasing the game. You're in the driver's seat. How does that feel at halftime?
Well, you know, we didn't have the start that we wanted to have in the game, giving up an early goal like that. But certainly our team recovered very well and scored 3 pretty special goals. But we've got 45 minutes to go, and so we're going to try to address some of our defensive concerns and come out and hopefully finish them off.
Well, your halftime speech might include something like the 2-goal lead in soccer is the most dangerous lead in this sport. Is that true?
You're right. We don't want to relax. The job is not done yet. There's still 45 minutes to play.
Coach, thanks very much. Good luck. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Chris. Thank you, Coach Bloom. Boy, that's surprising to me. Not that Ohio State couldn't get a result here in Indiana, because they have, but that 4 goals in the first half, that's a lot.
Well, he says 2-goal leads, the most dangerous lead. I think John Bloom would rather be 3-1 than 2-1, no.
All right, we'll be back with halftime after this. The Buckeyes, on the strength of 3 first-half goals, lead the homestanding Hoosiers 3-1. We'll be back with more at halftime after this. You're watching the Big Ten Tournament on the Big Ten Network.
The Ohio State Buckeyes lead Indiana 3-1. Getting ready to start the second half. Dean Linke with you now. Let's go to Chris Doran standing by with Indiana head coach Mike Freitag.
Dean, thanks very much. Well, Daniel Kelly lost to injury in the first half. What changes do you have to make, Mike, in the second half to accommodate for that loss?
Daniel's loss is just giving somebody else an opportunity. Well, you know, Alex Purdy go up there. We're going to start off with Neil Wilmarth this half. See if they can generate some offense.
What do you have to tell the team in order to reassure them that they can, in fact, climb back into this game?
I think the next goal is a key one. You know, you get the next goal, and then momentum shifts, and we'll be ready to fight for it.
Mike, thanks very much. We appreciate it. Now let's go upstairs to the booth. Ken and Richard.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Mike Freitag. So let's take a look at the stats from the first half. Ohio State with only 4 shots on goal, and 3 of them went in. That's being efficient. Fewer fouls than you might expect, given that it was a bit physical to start this game.
Well, offensive efficiency, that's one thing that Tim Lenahan at Northwestern prides himself in. John Bloom taking a page from their book with his team. Very efficient finishing in the first half, putting the Buckeyes up on top.
Now, your man Neil Wilmarth is into the game. What do we expect from number 14?
Expect a lot of activity. I was thinking about that when I saw Neil Wilmarth go out on the field. They can't bring back Angelo DiBernardo or Kenny Snow. There's one man on the Indiana campus that I'd have in this game in the second half. If I'm Indiana's coach, Mike Freitag, it's Neil Wilmarth.
There he is, and you see IU, very much a second-half club. Scored the vast majority of their goals after the intermission. They're going to need at least 2 just to force overtime. And the last 5 meetings between these two sides have gone to overtime. So if we see it again, we're going to see one heck of a second half. Now here is Softner, who did stay in the match despite a shaky first half, and now he's got the sun at his back, and it's Matt Lampson at the other end who has to look into the somewhat beginning to set sun here. Will really play out the second match. Really gets low. Summers. Alexander has it for Indiana. Chip forward. Bruin races onto it, but Lampson gets there first.
Also glad to see Eric Alexander back in the game. He played the first 20-25 minutes. When he has the ball at his feet, good things happen for the Hoosiers.
Lamson drills one across midfield. Meyer heads it back the other way for Indiana. Brought down to the midfield, sent high. 50-50 ball won by Matt Wyatt. Alexander to Adlard, chests it down, gets it to Cameron Jordan. Back on the back line to Meyer. Likes to serve a long ball out of the back. Nice one drilled forward, but intercepted there and headed. And it'll drop here to Sam Scales. Pressure put on by Alexander. Scales sends it up the line. He'll get that one back. Wyatt has it now for Indiana. Trying to poke that one through to Bruin, but Eric Alexander has it, sends it across. Here's Bruin. Has trouble finding the handle. Switches it to Hagedorn. Oh, he tried to lay a little soft ball to Adlard. It was a little too soft. It's picked off by Verhoff. Austin McEnena. Sends it wide to McGill. He had one of the 3 first-half goals for the Buckeyes. Going on 0-4. Sarkody again. Cuts inside, plays it on the ground, and he's offside.
Talk about Austin McEnena. Came to Ohio State, basically recruited himself to Ohio State. They recruited by a number of schools out in California, where he's from. Started wide in the midfield this year, moving up top. He plays underneath Hengy, not even with him, giving a lot more activity and allowing Hengy to stretch the defense.
Mike Freitag say that the next goal is crucial. Foul ball here, free kick, and there's no one on the ball. Go off it. So will that next goal be scored by the men in white to make this a 3-2 game? Or will Ohio State continue the offensive barrage? We'll see.
Ohio State can't afford to sit back. Indiana's got to take the play to them, but Ohio State can't sit back in a defensive shell, not against a team with the firepower the Hoosiers have.
Launch to the 18, will come out here, and Scales will let it go out of play.
Hey, I got the thrower. What's Mark? Checking in.
Has a big throw, and I expect to see him launch this as far as he can into the box, looking for the head of Will Bruin.
Scales from Columbus, Ohio, so he knows quite well about Ohio State. Ball drops in front, save, pushed away. Bruin scores! There's that first goal of the second inning, and Bruin gets it to put the Hoosiers within 3-2.
He not only finds the head of Will Bruin, but Will Bruin keeps playing and finds that ball in the box. This is what Will Bruin is all about. Fighting spirit, which has characterized Indiana's success over the year. Bruin fights for the ball. He keeps playing. It's flicked off by Hagedorn. Bruin doesn't stop. He keeps going and drives that ball into the back of the net. The big throw in by Wyatt helps. Look at the effort by Bruin, but he keeps on playing, and that's the quality of that young man. That's why he's a special player. That's why Indiana's back in the game.
8th goal for the sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri. We said we only saw 4 goals in the 3 quarterfinals yesterday. We've seen 5, and we've got plenty of time left in this one. Just underway in the second half, and just as they did yesterday, scoring just after the intermission. Yesterday it was to make it 1-0. Now it's to get them within a goal.
Ohio State likes to get on top, but what a way to get on top, to come from 1 goal down, get 3 up, and now it's very much a game. And the presence of Neil Wilmarth just adds so much. He's such a fighter. He scrambles things, makes things difficult.
Quick free kick taken by the Hoosiers, but that attack is snuffed out before Will Bruin can get his second of the game. But the Hoosiers have the ball back, and now the crowd is energized here along the near side touchline. They can feel it now. Hagedorn goes down, free kick whistle.
Now it's incumbent on Ohio State to regain their poise. Indiana became unsettled after giving up the second goal. Now Ohio State looking a little bit disoriented. They've got to recover their composure.
Saw Matt Gold there, number 6, one of the captains, first junior captain at Ohio State in more than a decade. Right, the leader, and he'll put himself right in the middle of the 4-man wall. That'll be just outside the 18-yard box.
Last restart Andy Adlard had, he hit into the wall. He's got to get this beyond the wall, get it on goal, give his teammates a chance for a rebound, perhaps.
Wilmarth is on the edge of it, backs out, and the ball goes up and over the ball.
Got it over the wall, but that's not what we have in mind.
Goal kick up coming for Ohio State.
Still now, the tide has turned, and now it's a 3-2 game with still 40.5 minutes to play in the second half. Bill Armstrong Stadium. in Bloomington, Indiana. First semifinal of the men's Big Ten tournament for 2009. The winner gets the winner of the second match between Penn State and Michigan State. Michigan State is the defending tournament and conference champions. Thrown in the regular season this year by the men in scarlet there. Ohio State. Gold sends that one long from McGill. Gets Sarkody out of the way and sends one across, and it'll go out for a corner.
Andrew McGill is very effective on that flank. He's given Ofori Sarkody a handful today.
There you see Andrew McGill. Now McEnena again from the far side flag.
Let's go, Hoosiers!
Dangerous situation. Ohio State, one of the best restart teams in the country, with Vierhoff and Teamster running onto these balls.
Got some size in the box for him. Headed down, saved off the line by sophomore and put in. And just like that, the Buckeyes have answered to restore the lead.
Talk about unlikely heroes. Joe Moore, I believe that's the first goal of his career, maybe since he was in junior high, but what an effort. This is a great effort going in. Vierhoff challenges, Henge challenges. I'm not sure if it's Gold who gets it. Joe Moore finishing on the second ball to get the goal.
Joe Moore, the senior, that is his first goal this year. And it couldn't have come at a better time because Buckeyes were on their heels after Will Bruin had scored to make it 3-2, and now it's 4-2.
Talk about those tall headers of the ball. Teamster, Vierhoff, Henge, but I believe it was Matt Gold who got up and won that ball, driving it down. The ball that Sophomore couldn't hold on to, and Joe Moore capitalized.
And you mentioned earlier, Richard, that it's those kind of players, the character guys and the guys who are the piano carriers as well as the piano players.
Joe Moore does a great job carrying the piano. Here we got another restart. Ohio State again. One of the best restart teams in the country. They showed it a few minutes ago. Maybe they can do it again now.
Again, swerving in. And out over the end. Nope.
Goal kick for Indiana.
Sophomores with 4 goals today. That one may have been a backbreaker.
Last one, just some confusion about the marking, and one of the things that's concerned Mike Freitag is his communication in the back. The assignments are good individual defenders, but they've not communicated and organized well effectively as a unit this year.
Now it's Matt Wyatt. He looks up, launches a long ball. Team's trying to go over his head. Play it back to his keeper. Lampson gets it out of danger.
Let's go, Hoosiers!
Jordan now. Buckeyes again, moving out of the back. Varziha, flipping forward. Meyer gets it to Hagedorn. Let's go on to Chris.
Certainly the score right now with 37 minutes to go seems like a bit of an anomaly. If you look at the stats over time, 7 meetings between these two teams in Big Ten tournament games. And this is the first game of those 7 where the result will not be a shutout. As a matter of fact, 6 goals in one tournament game with these two teams featured on the field is a record. 3 was the previous record set back a handful of years ago.
Not too long ago, matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, 1-0, had to go to overtime to decide it. Eric Shirtley's goal beating the Hoosiers here. What a contrast today.
There were only 7 goals scored in the whole tournament last year. 6 games. 6 today. That's Jordan's first of his career. He'd only played 4 matches coming into this. Balcher. Bruin trying to size up that. Dummies it for Adler. His shot goes wide.
Shot right by number 10,
Balcher coming forward. He's not stuck coming forward. He created this by winning a tackle, getting the ball, not giving up. Here's Balcher sliding across to Bruin. He slips it across to Adler. Andy Adler needs to put that ball on the frame.
Goal kicking Buckeyes.
Get the feeling that this game may have even more goals in it. It's one of those days. Gibson sends that one long. McInerney trying to head it forward to Hengi. Here's Hagedorn. Hagedorn stays on his feet, pushes it to Bruin. Bruin at the 18, turns and that's snuffed out. Alexander chases after it, but Barzihai is there. He'll play that one a little too far for Hengi. He's got good pace. Walton is there, and sophomore scoop it up.
He does. He stretches the defense so they can't come and compact the field. He gives you the chance to counter if Indiana gets too many players forward.
Sarkoti now. Plays that one long. Gold with it. Turns away from the pressure and plays it back. There's Wilmar getting in the mix, having that ball go off him and back to the keeper.
Raging Bull knows no fear. He'll throw his body in front of the ball. Gives a little bit of extra energy to Indiana. They may want to sub him. He's not been a full 45-minute half player. They may need to bring someone else on. Either the reversing perhaps Tim Wiley, big strong player, can give them some prowess in the air in the attack.
You see there what an anomaly this is. 4 goals in their last 4 matches. They get 4 today. This club built on defense. They only scored 5 goals through the 6 conference games this season. Sarkoti is that one up. Jordan. It's away from Meyer. Can he get it back? No. Thrown into McInerney. Hagedorn. Tries to play that one off him and does. Stay with the Buckeyes. Jordan sneaks in there, wins that one away for the Hoosiers, and here they come. Adlard held up, and the foul will be called here. Fans Friday Night Hoops on the Big Ten Network features Tom Green and his young upstart Hoosiers as they play host to the Howard Bison. Tip-off coverage at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, only on the Big Ten Network. It's Indiana and Howard right across the street in Assembly Hall. Meyer sends that one way long. Headed back the other way by the Buckeyes. Here's Matt Gold. Gives it up to Hengi. Spins away from Meyer. Hengi running at the goal. Balchin is there. That one just slipped away from Hengi.
Superb defense by Rich Balchin, slowing down England.
Nice spin move by Alexander to get wide. Now cuts inside of Dalton Summers, trying to set up his man Will Bruin, but Veerhoff was there to clear. So Cody chases this one. Up, throws it in quickly, looking for Hagedorn. Bounce off a Buckeye, and Ohio State has it back. Barzihai poked it forward, but the only one there and there was Matt Wyatt. And then Jordan plays it out to Hagedorn to chest it down. Now Balchin, just over a half hour left in the second half of this match. The Hoosiers are where they started the second half, down by 2 goals. They answered once. Can they do it again? Alexander plays it through. Wilmarth can't get to it before it goes over the end line.
Alexander with a great touch onto Wilmarth, and Neal just didn't read it quite quickly enough. But Wilmarth's giving him some energy. He gives him a lot of fight. He's not a polished goal scorer. He gives him the energy. This man, Eric Alexander, gives him the touch. Get him the ball, and they're going to be more effective.
You're watching the men's Big Ten soccer tournament for 2009 from Jerry Yeagley Field at Bill Armstrong Stadium, campus of Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. Ken Tomash, Richard Broad, Chris Dorn, and Dean Linke with you this afternoon. First of 2 semifinals. Second one upcoming at 4:30 or thereabouts today. Penn State and defending tournament champion Michigan State. And if that one is as wild as this one, I don't know how we're going to stand it, Richard.
I was going to say Michigan State's been a real defensive team. What do you think the score of that game will be? 5-4 or something?
Who knows? Yeagle's going to come back in, and just like you said, Richard, we're going to see Neil Wilmarth leave here.
Neil
Yeagle will get in
Wilmarth.
for him.
Neil Wilmarth's more of a 10, 15-minute player. He can give you a burst. He did give them a burst. Maybe they can bring him back on. Darren Yeagle, much more sophisticated player. Again, here comes Ohio State with another one of those restarts. They're very good headers of the ball, and they're very opportunistic. This is a dangerous situation again.
McEnana again. Low and headed out by Wilmarth. Knocked back into the mixer, headed out of there by Balchin. Scales toe pokes it up, looking for Hengi. Hengi will head it. Meyer gets ahead on that one, and they'll have to do it again. Again, the Buckeyes won't go, but we've got a offside flag up. Just over a half hour to go. And we won't see Yeagle get in. He was poised to check in, didn't get the opportunity. Hagedorn has that one go out off rim. We see Conrad Varzija. He was hoping that his dad's team obviously would still be playing in Major League Soccer playoffs, but despite winning the Supporters Shield, they were ousted in the first round by Real Salt Lake.
Probably hoping his dad saw that goal that he got. Ohio State got back in and took the lead in this game because of good midfield play, and they haven't been as steady this half controlling the ball in the midfield. That's going to be important. They're able to possess the ball and dominate the midfield.
Wyatt drops that one long. Looking for Bruin. Teamster is there. Foul whistled on Bruin.
Will Bruin will keep on playing. He will not give up. He's arguing about that, and he doesn't have a good case. He very obviously pushed Teamster, then pulls him down, trips him that time. And Will Bruin is a very aggressive player. They need to get him in front of the goal and control the play in the midfield.
Let's check in with Dean Linke, Dean.
You mentioned Conrad Varzija and his relationship with, of course, his father, the coach of the Columbus Crew. John Bloom, also the radio announcer for the Columbus Crew, but that's where it ends. When asked if Coach Varzija ever gives any input to the Buckeye head coach, he says, I don't tell Coach Varzija how to coach the Columbus Crew. He doesn't tell me how to coach the Buckeyes.
Oh, it works out well that way then. Dalton Summers. That one's too far, out of play, goal kick. Always softer. Now we will see Yeagle return, and we will also see John Bloom go to his bench. Ryan Lee, a freshman midfielder, will come in for Matt Gold.
It's a surprising substitution. I don't know. Maybe Matt Gold has come down with some type of injury. Maybe Chris can find out about it. Matt Gold, one of the most fit players you'll ever find. He usually plays 90 or 110 if he has to.
Alexander in the midfield to Yeagle. His first touch since coming back on to Adlard. Adlard taken down, and a little delayed call, but nicely done by Hilario Grajeda. Will set up the Hoosiers with a long dead ball opportunity.
Sam Scales doesn't like the call, and this one was a foul. Indiana has to do more with the restarts than they've done thus far.
It's tough from this distance when you don't have a Varzija with that big right foot.
You don't need to shoot from here. You need to get that service to the far post. Remember, they did get one, I stand corrected, off a restart with Will Bruin battling to win that second ball and capitalize early in the half.
Looking to pick out the head of number 11. Sent into the box. It was just over the head of Will Bruin. Hengi pokes it out here to the side.
Last one was a throw in from Wyatt from right about this position. They found Bruin's head. He went for the second ball. Why not try it again?
Wyatt can't get much of a run up here. Whipped into the box though. Headed out by Ohio State. Jordan out muscle Hengi to win that one. Back across midfield. Meyer goes on the ground. Flipped on for Alexander, but Lampson says let that one ride out.
Good decision by Tommy Meyer. Play it on the ground. You're not going to beat the Buckeyes often in the air, even though that flick by Bruin on the throw-in off Wyatt was in the air. They eventually finished by going on the ground. You're not going to beat this defense with players like Teamster and Veerhoff, Dalton Summers in the air. Get it on the ground and move it quickly.
Lampson broke across midfield. Meyer wins the 50-50 ball. Headed onward. Here's Bruin. He's drawn lots of attention every time he touches the ball. McGill now. Meyer will win that Hoosiers. Here's Darren Yeagle. Everybody to switch the ball to over here on the near side. Bruin races after it. They're off on him, going to the corner. Easy, sends it off. His defender wins corner.
Not only strong, but very smart. Real good getting that restart they look for. He's getting in, but the midfielders have to get in and support him more. That's where Adlard can play a major role in the second half.
25.5 minutes left, and the Hoosiers down by 2 goals. And that from the 6, held in by Sarkody now. Again, flick it out wide. Adlard will have a go again and sail over the ball.
It's more like it. Good service from Andy Adlard from the flank box that time. Yagle's got to bring it down, put it on the goal line. Look at it again. Adlard, good control. Good server of the ball, and this is a good low-driven ball. And Yagle's there. He slips inside the defense. Needs to bring that ball down underneath the bar. Not go over top. It's too easy to knock it over the top.
Absence sends that one long. It's away from Ryan Lee, who's checked in for the Buckeyes. Cameron Jordan being hounded by Austin McInerney. Nicely out of danger to Sarkody. Now wide to Lee Hagedorn. Jordan with a tackle. Hayda lets that one go by. He's up, he's all right. Sarkody now ventures forward. Toe pokes that one to Yeagle. One more time to Bruin, motoring through traffic. Bruin. Alexander with a shot and a save by Lamson.
Bill Bruin excites the crowd, getting 3 players, getting it off to Eric Alexander. Might have been a better opportunity had Eric Alexander tried to go far post. Unselfish play by Bruin. Alexander's got to look for the far post with that. Shoot far post. You give your teammates a chance for a rebound.
Balcher trying to get to that one before Henke does, and we've got an offside flag up. Someone lost a shoe.
Offsides of Iowa State.
It's Balcher. He's having real trouble getting it back on the left boot.
He's a battler. He will leave it all on the field for you every time. His shoes and his heart. He plays all out.
Left his footwear there. Yeagle chases after that one. Hagedorn has it. Far side touchline. Hagedorn will serve it in. Adlard is there, but so too is the Buckeye defense. Wyatt sent it in. It's off Bruin's head. Garcia clears. Henke, the only man in scarlet. He's down with it. Whistle.
Basically, Ohio State has almost dropped into now a 4-5-1 with McInerney underneath Henke, who plays up top all the way. It leaves them the opportunity to counter. Gives them a little bit more stability in the midfield.
Good free kick for the Buckeyes, and again it's Varziha. Big boomy kick into the box. Something is there.
Good communication that time by Louis Softner coming out. There's something that Shea Kane and Mike Sanich have stretched. You need that communication from the keeper. The defensive communication has let Indiana down this year.
Sarkody drops that one over the shoulder of Yeagle. Veerhoff is there, sends it out. Hagedorn back to Yeagle. Sent across and punched out by Lamson. Bruin was there on the doorstep. Look at Sarkody. And McGill shoves him out of the way. That ball will go out of play, and now Grajeda will go back and get that foul and potentially a card. Yes, it will. The crowd wanted it much earlier, but His job. Finish. And then gets him with the yellow.
Oh, yeah, that's an obvious guard on that situation. McGill just pushing Sarkody aside.
Ohio State leads the league in yellow cards with 30. And they lead this game 4-2 over IU in the semis. Back with more after this. Stick around.
The Buckeyes lead Indiana 4-2 here as we march on in the second half. Some of you remember one of the star defenders for the Indiana Hoosiers left after his junior year a year ago, Kevin Austin, now playing for the New England Revolution of Major League Soccer. Kevin, you had a great rookie year, but talk a little bit about what Indiana soccer meant to you.
You know, I think it instilled a tradition in me. You know, just the mentality, they're in a winning school. You know, when you play for IU, you put that jersey on, you go out there and, you know, kind of impose your will. And, you know, they have a great tradition of success, and I think I try to, you know, I guess embody that and carry it on to the next level.
Well, talk about the next level. Had a great season for New England Revolution. How was the transition to MLS?
It was interesting. I mean, going from, you know, the college season to the MLS, it's a long season. I kind of, you know, I'm going all out at first. You just got to pace yourself and realize, you know, there'll be injuries. You got to really take care of your body. But, you know, MLS, I mean, it's great. You know, it's high level of play, very physical, and, you know, I think playing at IU helped me.
Meanwhile, your senior Hoosiers give up 4 goals to the Buckeyes. What do they got to do defensively, Kevin?
No, I think it's not specifically the defense, but I think it's a whole team, you know, defensive effort. You know, it starts with everybody. They need to pressure, you know, the movement off the ball. They need to put themselves in good spots. You know, it's been a little shaky so far, but, you know, I think they need to come together and really work as a team in order to help out the defensive effort.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Let's go back to Ken Tomash and Richard Broad.
All right, thank you, Dean, and thank you, Kevin Alston. It was terrific.
Let's go, Hoosiers!
Big life, big stage, big his chest. Balchin clears it out to midfield.
Let's go, Hoosiers!
20 minutes left. Indiana with a long way to go and a short time to get there. Teamster tries to slide in that one on Yeagle and will go out for a corner kick.
Speaking of Kevin Austin, I don't think big heart. That's the way he plays the game. It's significant. He's back here in Indiana. Lives in Silver Spring, Maryland. He's
Corner kick for Indiana, number 10, Indiana.
Tradition and values so much what Indiana soccer has meant to him and to so many people.
He's not the only one. I saw Danny O'Rourke here as well. Adlard sends that one across. It drops through the box. Hagedorn sends it into the mix. It will go out for goal kick.
Andy Adlard, good server of the ball, has to make the most of every single restart from this point on.
Let's go down to Chris Doran, Chris.
Ken, during the TV break, it was Mike Freitag repeating his halftime speech to the Hoosiers. He said, get the next one, and the second one will come. Of course, the Hoosiers were down 2 coming out at the half. They got that next one, but they let Ohio State get one for themselves. So Indiana now hoping to finish this game in regulation with a tie and then wrap it up in overtime with a victory.
And that would be a stunning turn of events because we've only got 18 and a half minutes to go. We've already seen 6 goals. If we see 8 and then go into overtime, wake the kids and phone the neighbors and have them turn this game on. Adlard. Here to Wyatt again, got some space in front of him. Lee tries to step up and close him down. Alexander, sea of red shirts. Clark sends it through. Bruin trying to spin and dance and turn on it. Nothing doing, says the Buckeyes. Lee sends it out of play here. Well, Big Ten Tonight is your ultimate source for all things Big Ten. It is the weekly show for highlights and analysis of all the week that was in the Big Ten. It's Big Ten Tonight, presented by Principal Financial Group, and it's at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, Sunday night only on the Big Ten Network. Zeha and Adler raced after that one. Indiana has it back. Meyer plays it up to Hagedorn. Busy man today. His left-footed worm burner is scooped up there.
Indiana continues to play the ball in front of the Ohio State defense. Ohio State's fine with that. Indiana needs to get down the flanks, high balls that Bruin can run on to, played back from the back byline.
Now here's Bruin again. Again, he draws double coverage, so he lays it off to Adlard, and that one's snuffed out. Bruin has it back, he'll try again. Long shot goes over the goal.
Fighting spirit of Will Bruin. He's just a bit ambitious on that last one, trying to take the shot. He'll take it all on himself. He needs to get more support, more complimentary play from the players around him.
Lampson had back-to-back shutouts coming in. Got 2 goals to this point. Unfortunately for him, his mate's back to number 4. There's Hengi now, spins after it comes down to his chest. Hengi with a shot, and Softner reaches out to his right and gets that one.
Important that he hang on to that, because coming on that was Austin McEnana looking for a free ball. If Softner doesn't hold that one, it's 5-2, and this game is essentially over.
Oh, never know today. Ball launched long for Alexander. That one will go out for another goal kick.
Emphasize this point maybe over and over again, but Will Bruin is the heart of that attack. They need to get people like Eric Alexander, Yeagle, Adlard, Hagedorn in behind supporting him, because Ohio State is collapsing at least 2 men on Will Bruin every time he touches the ball.
Lampson has that one across midfield, headed by Alexander. 50 ball, Adlard wins it. Cameron Jordan. There's Alexander again, pushed here to the near side touchline. Dalton Summers goes inward to Bruin, goes one more time to Alexander. Can Hagedorn get there before it goes out? Nope.
Collective groan from the Indiana stands, because Hagedorn was wide open and Alexander just couldn't find him with a pass. Needs to be more accurate.
Deep throw in for the Buckeyes. So Cody. Yeah. Sent back into the Indiana defensive end. Sophomores punt. They wait for it to come down. Goes off Bruin. Scale sends it high. Now Scales will poke it forward, looking for Hengi, but Meyer is there for Indiana. Now to Matt Wyatt. Alexander and Wyatt. 2-man game to Yeagle. Now Baltimore will set sail for the Ohio State goal with just over 14 minutes to play. Hoosiers need one pretty quickly. It's flipped on nicely, and had Bruin been able to run onto it, or at least made things interesting.
Very difficult. Yeagle's got to play that in at an angle, not directly at the goal, because it's too easy for Lampson to come out and collect.
Long high punt. Hagedorn will collect for Indiana. Now Rich Balcher. Looking for Yeagle, and Bierhoff stepped in there and won it. Now he'll have to win it again. Banana plays it back. Varziha looks up, checks out his options. Just an easy ball to Dalton Summers. Ohio State will be having to do this for the next 13 minutes, but now to lead who's come up. Stumbled a bit, put in front. Hagedorn and McGill at the edge of the area. Now McGill will send one in. Hengi with Meyer on his back. Can't turn, and Softner gets the loose ball. Fans, you can text MSOC to 20284 if you want to get Big Ten Network mobile men's soccer programming alerts, or you can sign up for them online just by visiting BigTenNetwork.com/alerts. Message and data rates may apply, and you can text STOP to quit. Meyer sends that one back to his keeper. Softner will play it short out to Matt Wyatt. Just over 12 minutes left in the game. Hoosiers tournament run if they don't get at least 2 goals. Probably not their season. We expect, as we said, all 4 of these semifinalists to be in the NCAA's field of 48 on Monday. Just as soon get that automatic bid so you don't have to worry about it. Teams will play it out.
Superb collective defense by Ohio State that time. Shutting down Alexander, shutting down Bruin. Doug Vierhoff, Teamster, excellent in the center back.
Buckeye defense gave up a goal in the first 5 minutes of the first half and the first 5 minutes of the second half, but that's been it.
The only thing that concerns me about Ohio State is that Matt Gold is not getting back in the game. I don't know if we can check and see if he has some sort of injury. They're just resting him. He's very fit. It's unusual that he would come out of the game at all.
Free kick, knocked long, looking for Henke over his head. Drops in the box, Softer's there. See Eric Shrigley come back into the match, though. Been on earlier. Tommy Meyer again. Chip forward. Goes off Yeagle. McGill puts it forward. Meyer again gets ahead on that one, and it'll go out for play. Now we look at the sub as Shrigley will check back in. McGill goes out. Stays work for number 10. His goal was key. He's not done. Takes going in for Henke. McGill just wants to get the ball water. And he's back on.
Henke's done a lot of work today stretching that defense. Hasn't scored any himself. Boy, he's given Indiana a lot to handle.
His assist on one of the early goals. And we've got 10 minutes to go in the second half. Ohio State leads Indiana in the first semifinal of the Big Ten tournament for 2009. The winner gets Penn State, the winner of the Penn State-Michigan State game, which will follow about 4:30-ish. Battle for there on the end line, won by the Hoosiers. Cameron Jordan starts the play, and here they come. So long, and Summers won it for Ohio State. Vierhoff will drop it long. Shrigley has to go over his shoulder. Sarkody has to flip it out of the box.
A lot of work by Eric Shrigley, challenging for that ball, not making it any easier for Indiana.
Jordan now. Adlard. It's fouled from behind. Free kick.
Another one of these restarts. Long distance, but Adlard's a good server. I let him serve it. They didn't. They decided to play it directly. I would have had him serve it in the box and see if Bruin can get a knockdown.
Time's are wasted, so they're being judicious with it. Balchin now dancing over the ball. So pokes it through, top of the area. Shot by Alexander. Some of the IU fans on the handball call there. Lee clears it away for Ohio State.
Not a lot of time, but they've got one break. They've got to play that ball and do anything they can. I would like to even see Neil Wilmarth get another go. Whenever he's on the field, good things seem to happen for Indiana.
Cleared away from the top of the box by Ohio State. Here's McGill with some room to roam. Puts it forward, and Shrigley's not going to get to that one. His opposite number, Meyer, will be right there on him as it goes out of play for a goal kick.
Tommy Meyer having an excellent second half. He's done well, showing improvement day by day. He's going to be a very good player before he finishes his career here.
Wyatt. Garcia sends that one long. Ohio State is playing dump and let you chase.
Conrad Garcia responding to that deep midfield spot. He's just growing and growing in the position as the season's going on.
That's that one. Got great vision, knows where to put the ball, and only a junior. Goes offside.
Great understanding of the game.
John Bloom will be happy to have him back for a senior year. Not Wyatt. Alexander, Sarkody. Long looking for Bruin. Bruin in motion to the corner. Over the boards.
That summarizes a lot of this game. Will Bruin fighting and fighting, trying to keep the ball alive, and nobody there to support him. Indiana's midfield is just not pushing the attack they did early on. Andy Adlard getting a goal. They stopped doing so, and it's hurt them.
So if you missed it, Taylor Kelly, who started the match up front with Will Bruin, will give him some help. He suffered a hamstring injury early on. The Hoosiers haven't been quite the same since. They did get to within 3-2 early in the second half. Then Joe Moore, the unlikeliest of heroes, made it 4-2, and that's where we stand. Adler to Bruin, sends that one through. He'd like to have that one.
One thing I can criticize a little bit in Will Bruin's game, he tends to take balls from a standing position. He's learned to get away from the ball and attack the ball. If he comes with the ball, come forward at it, he's a powerful force.
Don't forget the second semifinal between Penn State and defending tournament champion Michigan State. Shocked Northwestern yesterday. Follows this game. The two winners will play Sunday at 2 o'clock here on the Big Ten Network for the automatic bid to the NCAA's Field of 48. Battle for the touchline here. Foul called. Back the other way.
Matt Wyatt not agreeing with the call. He's had a good game too at that left back position. Steady player. He's got a bright, bright future. Ohio native, and John Bloom certainly familiar with him for the game. Good job for Indiana. He's going to get better and better with more experience.
Ball sent long. Shrigley tried to get there, but the ball won by Wyatt. Dropped to Varziha. Eventually forward than it has almost all this game. Sends it across. Oh, and that would have been a goal by Shrigley. You don't get many more services like that. Wow.
Varzia with a superb service, and Shrigley could have put this away for sure. And he has to drive that ball down. He has to try to look at the goal line. I've coached this game a long time, Ken. Seen millions of balls, I think, go over the bar. I've never seen one go over under the goal line. Get the ball down, and Shrigley's made it 5-2.
Nick Gagliardi and Chris Gomez have checked in for Ohio State as they'll get some valuable minutes here in the final five. And the guys will rest for Sunday. Final in less than 48 hours.
Substitution in the midfield, keeping that back line and organize the same players, Moore and Verhoff and Teamstra, Summers. That defensive organization and understanding is so critical to the success of John Bloom's defenses.
Wyatt wins that 50-50 ball, but knocks it out here to the near side, and Ohio State, Dalton Summers will take his time. Just throw in. This time is definitely on the side of the Buckeyes. They're 4 minutes away from the trip to final. Gagliardi. Assisted down by Bruin. Now headed to Adlard. Sarkody now. Cameron Jordan. Sarkody chips it forward now. Slip up by Bruin. And it'll go out into the goal kick.
Will Bruin has been on the end of a lot of balls, but just nobody in there supporting him. And Ohio State's so superb in organizing. Frank Speff and Kelly Good has done a great job developing Lamson and Brandon Moss. They just coach the team very, very well. They're so well organized defensively.
Lamson knocks it long. Meyer draws a beat on it, but Varziha wins the header. Bounce around in that center circle. Collision there as Jordan sends his man to the turf. Alexander inward now. Jordan. Back to Alexander. He's in that triangle of red shirts. Bruin can't turn. Free kick. Alexander though, but
there's no way he can turn with 4 people on him all the time.
Took it quickly. Adlard still alive in the box. Bruin, oh, he had a drive going off the defender. Alexander's back up. 2.5 minutes to play. Sarkody sends that one in the box and just over the head of Yeagle and takes it out on the backboard.
frustration of Darren Yeagle. He's come back from a terrible, terrible run of injuries. Good job for Indiana, just couldn't get it quite to that last one.
Well, we've talked about this. Indiana now will fall to 10-9-1, and this will be the second time in school history that they've lost 9 games. They've never lost more. Do they still make the field at 48?
Oh, absolutely. They've played probably the toughest schedule in the country there. I'm sure they're going to make the field, but they're not going to get that cut high seed. They may have to play one of the top seeds in the country right off the bat.
Dalton Summers sends that one forward to Shrigley, who's offside with just under 2 minutes to play.
Turn, Tommy.
And Sunday's winner gets an automatic bid. We expect as many as 5 Big Ten teams to get in. So Cody now loses it. And Meyer will get right back. OSU has head. Shrigley with it. Try to kill some time. Head for the flag. With Meyer on his shoulder. Balch comes in there to help out, and will go out for a goal kick. So this will about do it. Ohio State will improve to 11-4-4. So under a minute to play now. They went to the College Cup final in 2007. Looking like a team that could make a long run in the tournament this year as well.
Versatility of this team. John Bloom, when he's at Fresno State, had attack-oriented teams. Here at Ohio State, he's had defensive-oriented teams. When they needed to gear up the attack as they did today, they came through.
Shrigley right now. Under 30 seconds to play.
Frustrating game for Mike Freitag, Phil Presser, staff, but they've got one more shot to come back in the NCAA tournament and establish some of that Hoosier tradition.
Here's Alexander now, heading towards the goal. Pushing forward to Bruin. Seconds tick down as Bruin takes a shot high and wide, and that'll do it. For the 3rd time in 4 years, the Ohio State Buckeyes will play for the Big Ten Tournament Championship. John Bloom's Buckeyes beat the Hoosiers on their home field for the 2nd time in 2 weeks by the final score of 4-2. Probably not the way he drew it up, but he'll take it. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, he's very able to adjust. John Bloom's been at this a long time, and he coaches the team with a very professional attitude. They play with a professional attitude themselves.
So they will move on to the final on Sunday at 2 o'clock against the winner of the Michigan State-Penn State game, which will follow here within the next 20-25 minutes or so. An outstanding effort, just a goal explosion. As we told you, they had only scored 4 goals in their last 4 games, but they got 4 goals by McGill, Scales, Varzija, and Joe Moore, which was really the backbreaker because Indiana had grabbed the momentum back at 3-2, and anything could happen. But then Moore got that goal, and that was that.
Great poise showed by Ohio State. We talk about their defense, but their midfield really set the tone of the game. Adlard, Alexander for Indiana are dangerous players, but Ohio State never let them get in the game after the first couple minutes.
Let's go down to Dean Linke, who is with the victorious coach, John Bloom.
All right, thank you so much, Ken. I am with the winning coach, John Bloom. And John, you're now 3-35-3 all-time against Indiana. 2 of those wins come this year.
You know, they've been 2 very difficult games, and Indiana is a great program, and I think they have a very good team this year, and I was just wishing their players the best of luck in the upcoming NCAA tournament.
All right, you came in only 18 goals on this season. You get 4 in this one. What's up with the offensive outburst?
Well, it was an unusual game, and I think, you know, Indiana felt like they had to win the game, and so they opened up and they came and played, and as opposed to 2 weeks ago when we came here, they were a much more defensive kind of a attitude in the game. So it gave our kids a lot of space, and you know, I can't say where the goals came from, but it was a fantastic effort by our team today.
What about this team? Nobody expected you to be in this position, only 3 seniors on the squad.
Well, the guys have worked very hard. Our coaching staff has done a wonderful job, I think, with preparing the team for each game that we play, and I think in the last couple weeks things have gone our way, and we're in good form right now, and you know, injury-free, and you know, we've changed a formation a little bit. It's worked well. So we're excited to move forward and, you know, look forward to playing either Penn State or Michigan State on Sunday in what will be, I think, a very good final.
Coach John Bloom, congratulations. Let's go now to Chris Doran.
Dean, thanks very much. Andrew McGill, very happy. You guys said in the team huddle moments ago, we're not satisfied. You want a little more on Sunday, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we came here with, you know, we got the bye, and we're thinking, you know, we got what it takes to get to the championship. And, you know, we came here, we knew we had to do against Indiana, and getting ready for Sunday now. It all starts.
You had to get ready to put your foot to the floor and blast through the Indiana defense, and you were the first guy to capitalize on an opportunity. Talk a little bit about the goal.
The ball's on the other side of the field. Scales brought it down the line. I think he beat his guy or something, and I saw Chris running near post, and I was thinking, you know, I better make this run in case it slips through. And sure enough, you know, got my toe on it and poked it in. So.
We got Michigan State and Penn State next. Which of these two teams would you rather face on Sunday?
I mean, they're both tough. I don't know. They both gave us good games throughout the year, so I mean, we're just looking to go out and play hard, whoever we get. So.
Very good, Andrew. Thanks very much. Andrew McGill and the Buckeyes celebrating tonight the victory as they get ready for Sunday's championship match. Ken Tomash and Richard Broad.
All right,
I'm
Dean.
sorry, we'll go to Dean. Sorry, Dean.
No problem here. There you see it. The Ohio State Buckeyes with an impressive 4-goal outburst. They knock off the Indiana Hoosiers by a score of 4-2. Coming up right around the corner, we've got Michigan State and Penn State. A good one here in Bloomington. Semifinal Friday will roll on right here on the Big Ten Network.